Time Chronicles. Tyler, his story. Early 1800s. This was an age of discovery. Scientists were making important discoveries about the way the world works. They began to realize that everything in the world is made up of a few simple elements, like oxygen. This news gripped people's imagination. Everyone wanted to learn about science. Chapter 1. It's a bomb, yelled Tyler. It's going to the place up. Every blow the place up. Get everyone out. He raced towards the line of fizzing flame and sparks. Stamp on it, he shouted. It's a fuse. In front of him was an open trapdoor. Then he was falling into a dark space. His body twisted. His arms jerked. As Tyler hit the ground, he felt an agonizing pain. Tyler, said Wilma gently. Wake up! Tyler was asleep in an armchair in the library with a book on his lap. He opened his eyes. I was having a bad dream, he said. He began to rub his leg. I get this ache in me leg ever since the accident. Wilma frowned. What accident? Tyler had come to the time vault from the past. Who was he, and what was his story? Kipper was messing about in Tyler's techno chair. He sped through the library as Nadim appeared in the doorway, carrying a chessboard set out in a game that was half finished. Whoops! Shouted Kipper. The techno chair skidded. Nadim sprang aside, but the chess pieces flew off onto the floor. Kipper! You idiot! Nadim shouted. You've ruined our game. Kipper jumped out of the chair and began to pick up the chess pieces. And I was winning, complained Nadim. Don't worry, Nadim, said Tyler. I'll put them back. I can remember where the pieces went. Tyler's words made Nadim even crosser. You're too clever by half, Tyler, he shouted. And Kipper! You're just a pest. Now say sorry. Kipper threw the chess pieces back on the floor. I won't. You're a pain, Nadim. Hey! Stop it, said Wilma. We don't want any trouble in the time vault. Chapter 2. Biff and Wilf were playing pool in the games room. Biff took a wild shot. The cue ball flew into the air. There was a tearing sound as Biff's cue ripped a long tear in the cloth. Biff, shouted Wilf. That was stupid. Don't call me stupid, said Biff, hotly. At that moment, the link in Biff's pocket buzzed. Wilf's link went off too. An emergency? Biff gasped. The link was a high-tech communication device. Biff snapped hers open. Wilma had sent everyone a message. It read, Urgent meeting. Library. In 10 minutes. Chapter 3. When everyone had arrived, Wilma said, This messing about has to stop. We're beginning to fall out. She was right. They had been having fun. Things had got out of hand. Kipper stared at the floor. Biff looked uncomfortable. Wilf didn't agree. Come on, Wilma, he protested. We're just letting off steam. It's boring with nothing to do. Boring, shouted Tyler. You know nothing. Try living like I did once, with no proper home. No books, TV, computers, mobile phones. Imagine no place to wash yourself or go to the loo. Imagine huddling in a damp, stinking shelter with no bed to sleep in. Imagine just sitting there, cold and hungry, staring at the rain all day. Then you'd know what boring means. They looked at Tyler in surprise. Wilf hung his head. Sorry, Tyler, I didn't know. My mother used to get cross if I said I was bored, said Tyler. You haven't spoken about your mother or father before, said Wilma, gently. Tyler sniffed. That's 'cause I'm an orphan. Both my parents are dead. There was an awkward silence. Tyler went on. If I tell you my story, maybe you will see how lucky you are. This is the story Tyler told them. Chapter 4. My mother was beautiful. She was French. My father was an officer in the British Navy. He was killed at sea in 1801. It broke my mother's heart, 'cause after that, she fell ill and took to her bed. The night she died, she was having a job to breathe. I ran to get a doctor. I banged on his door and sobbed, "Please come. My mother's ill."